Welcome back to Uprising. I'm Sonali Kolhatkar. Scour the financial news and you'll see upbeat headlines touting the higher-than-expected profits of GM and Boeing and Dow Chemical. Wall Street is celebrating for its bounced back. And by the measures of stock prices and quarterly earnings, the U.S. economy does indeed look like it's headed toward a full recovery. But measuring by employment, wages, job security, and those real-life indicators for the 99% recovery is still elusive. In fact, it's a dirty secret of capitalism that the free market could never provide enough jobs for full employment, nor does it necessarily want to. So, how can leaders who might care about a real economic recovery solve the problem of persistent unemployment, underemployment, and poor job quality? Author and sociologist Scott Myers-Lipton offers an outline. In his new book, Ending Extreme Inequality, Lipton lays out a series of rights that Americans ought to demand and work toward that he calls the Economic Bill of Rights to eliminate poverty. Included in those rights are the right to a job, a living wage, a decent home, a good education, adequate medical care, and protection from the losses that result from sickness, accidents, old age, and unemployment. Articulating this six-part Economic Bill of Rights is a clear first step on a long-term solution to ending poverty, rather than the short-sighted pro-corporate approaches that leaders often adopt. Hillary Clinton, take note. Scott Myers-Lipton is a professor of sociology at San Jose State University. His earlier books include Rebuild America, Solving the Economic Crisis Through Civic Works, and Social Solutions to Poverty, America's Struggle to Build a Just Society. And we're now going to be discussing his new book, Ending Extreme Inequality, an Economic Bill of Rights to Eliminate Poverty. Welcome to the program, Scott.
Sonali, thanks so much for having me on.
Now, let's first examine the history of how the U.S. has approached high unemployment. The strongest example that we have is, of course, FDR's New Deal and the Works Progress Administration. Why is that New Deal history so relevant to today?
Well, it's relevant because it was the single greatest drop in unemployment in the history of the country. Before that, there was not a federal commitment to really solve social problems in general and unemployment problems in particular. The New Deal, that's what that language is about. It represents a break from the past 150 years of the country to say the federal government is going to have a direct intervention in solving the social problems of the country, in particular unemployment. And what they did, the single greatest drop from 24%, and if you include the public workers, down to 10%, a 15% drop. And what do? They rebuilt the country by building infrastructure, hiring nurses, hiring teachers and painters. And we could talk more about that, but it was a huge success. The right doesn't want to talk about it because it was so successful, but it really is the groundwork for this new idea of an economic Bill of Rights.